Hi, friends. Welcome back to A Lawyer's Insights from Federal Prison, Day 9. Today, I'm going to share about all the jobs that we women had at Federal Coleman Camp, which at the time was a minimum security camp for women. I believe now it's for men. So, when you get there after a couple of days of transition, the guards ask you to ask around, learn about the various jobs that are available, because not all of them are available and open. And then you're assigned a job. So there's, jobs in the kitchen. There's jobs that are called the supers, that are responsible for keeping spaces clean. Their jobs in laundry, in medical. I mean, their jobs basically, we as the women operate the entire complex. So Federal Coleman complex had, I believe, 5 facilities. So we were one, we were the only female facility, and then the other 4 facilities were male facilities. So there were 2 penitentiaries, one medium and one low. So the women though run kind of all of it. So the landscaping jobs were women that were taking care of all the landscaping, cutting the grass, emptying all the garbage bins, everything for the entire complex for all of those 5 prisons for the entire space. So my first job essentially was I was the trash girl, which meant that every night at like 15 minutes before recall is when you have to be back in the housing unit. Every night I would have to go downstairs, and outside of both housing units, there were 2 big trash bins, the ones that roll. And throughout the day, women would drop their trash bags from their cubes, from their little rooms, as well as the trash that came from, let's say, each of the TV rooms. There was like a common multi-purpose room where we would sometimes sit, and that's where the computer stations were for us to email through a special portal to our families. And then there was like a room where where there was a microwave and the ice machine where we basically did all of our cooking. And so all the trash from all of these spaces were thrown into these 2 bins. My job every night was I had to roll these 2 bins to the very back of the complex, which was at night and a little scary, but I would roll them. And then my job was to empty out the bins into the trash compactor. Uh, and every day there was definitely trash bags that busted, and so I'd have to fish it out. Yes, I had gloves, thank God. And then hit the button. Eventually, after about a month, there was a job that opened up in education. So when I first got to Coleman, I kind of hand wrote out a resume of what I thought I was qualified for, and like, my education and what jobs I had had. And I had submitted it to education, but at the time, there were no job openings for teachers. So about a month in, the woman who was teaching math left to go home. So I was asked to start teaching math. So then every day I would teach 2 math classes, one at 10 in the morning in English, and one at 2 in the afternoon in Spanish. And and I gotta say, like, just having the opportunity to teach women that are surrounding me, that were now my sisters, math skills that they had never learned before was so surprisingly meaningful. I had just taught these skills to my kids at home because they at the time, like, were 7 and 8. And so now I was teaching, how to add fractions, how to subtract and multiply fractions. And um, one of the women, and I believe I mentioned it in an earlier video, she had kept failing her GED because she couldn't really get down the math. And she happened to be in my housing unit, so I was able to tutor her. And it was just so satisfying because she ended up passing and getting her GED. And um, little wins in prison were in the most unexpected places so rewarding. And it just taught me, like, we can transform and learn so much about ourselves. The humility of being the trash girl was something that was very transformational and, like, eye-opening for me, and it gave me an appreciation for so many others in this world that I never really thought about. So just the opportunity to learn about myself and our humanity was really interesting and so rewarding. So, went from trash girl to teacher was an interesting journey in prison. And all the other women had very, very other types of jobs, but I think we all had that same kind of experience. So, anyways, thanks. Today was about jobs. Tomorrow will be a new video. Probably I'll be talking about the hustle that a lot of women end up having to do or forced to do because they don't have money in their commissary. Thanks. Hope you'll subscribe and share, and definitely tell your friends.